How you doing, YouTube? Unfortunately, we got to jump into our absolutely devastating Hawaii coverage. Historic devastation in a city that was at one time the seat of the Hawaiian Royal Empire. I can't pronounce it correctly. I'm going to embarrass myself if I try to pronounce it. Lahaina. By the way, hello, Mom. I'm going to send this video to my mom who lives in this area. Thankfully, she was on the other end of the island, and she did not have to experience, the negative effects of this. This would have been quite devastating in her area. But yeah, she was, I called her up yesterday, and she was in tears looking at the devastation. It's just, if you live in Hawaii, it's kind of hard to understand just how devastating this is, but it absolutely was. So we're gonna get into some of the news reports, and then we're gonna see some of the footage as well. And then that'll be the coverage for Hawaii today.
The wind was blowing so hard it looked like hellfire. Is the only way to describe it. It was ambers of just blowing through the wind, catching anything it could to burn.
So yeah, he had to flee his home. And yeah, he's not kidding.
I've been Q-tipping my ears for the past 3 days, and I'm still getting black stuff out of my ears. That's how engulfed we were when we decided to leave.
You should not use Q-tips, by the way. I don't know how you're supposed to get shit out of your ear if you're not allowed to use Q-tips.
6 to 7 o'clock-ish. Wind gusts were coming through and clearing the smoke, and you could almost see the sunshine. It was very apocalyptic. We're going to try to head back today, so I'm hearing through the grapevine and through local sources that they're letting some local residents in. So I'm very hopeful, and we'll just have to figure it out from there. And it's home to me, and I don't plan on leaving. I plan on helping rebuild, and the community here is very tight knit, and I've met a lot of great people, and I feel like I'm here for a reason.
Well, that's really great. He's a handsome fella too. Boy, look at them arms. Here we go. It's just some more. I mean, it's better to view it than to have me read it.
Our island archipelago has been invaded by fire-prone grasses from all over the world.
Oh, interesting.
That part of Maui has a very steep mountain range, and the winds were coming from the northeast, and they were very strong winds. They were descending, going up and over the mountain range and descending what we call the lee side. When that happens, you get acceleration near the surface.
Structures ignite because sparks moving far in front of the fire front get into the ventilation system of the building.
Oh, yeah.
And there are ways to construct buildings so that the ventilation systems, it's less easy for the ventilation systems to take up sparks.
Maui was in a D1, D2 severe drought for the season.
Look at that devastation.
And the risk for large fire potential was higher.
There's history and economics involved, but in the end, it's a fuels management problem.
There's a lot of things that are going to have to change.
If we accept as a society that these events will happen again, how can we best protect ourselves and the things we care about from those events?
Jesus, it just ripped through the whole shoreline there. Crazy. And people literally had to jump in the ocean to escape it. It just hit them so fast. And they leave the building. They think that they're safe in the building. Then they leave the building and they look down the street, smoke and fire. They look down the street, smoke and fire, literally surrounded. So they jump over the rock cliff and, into the ocean. So I wanted to show this, an interview from another local. I think it's most important to get the locals' opinion on the situation, because we've seen lots of disasters, right? And this doesn't seem like it's a huge one, but this is actually quite historic for this area.
Out front now, Rachel Zimmerman. She lost her home in the wildfire. And Rachel, I'm so sorry for that, for everything that you are now going through. Your home is by Front Street, where the fire just brought utter devastation. We've got satellite images here so viewers can understand what you are now living viscerally.
I mean, look at that.
Your neighborhood.
Looks like Bakhmut. You know what I mean? Just every building gone.
Before the fire and then after, everything is gone. And I know you're preparing yourself to go back, to actually see what is left. How are you holding up?
It comes in waves. It's been a nightmare. I feel I really can't wake up from. And I know that there are a lot of people who have seen worse than I've seen. And it's just devastating.
Cab, we literally just about 45 seconds ago covered the reasons why. I'll put the link in the chat for you.
You shared some video with us. This is inside your condo just before it was actually destroyed. And in this, I mean, it's almost like, you see sunlight and then you see these incredibly heavy winds. It's very jarring to see it with the blue sky in the background and then those winds, the palm trees are thrashing. What were you even thinking was happening at this point?
We kind of just thought it was a windy day from a hurricane passing below. And we didn't have any idea. I had canceled my shoots that day and it just seemed really windy. I was taking videos of a lawn chair that had fallen into the pool and it was just like, whoa, this is really windy today. And I had seen a fire start at 5 a.m. on the mountainside and had called the police department and it was from a power line. And at 3:30, we smelled smoke and looked outside and could see a little bit of gray a few blocks away. And immediately I got my partner and said, we need to leave, grab some things. So we got the dog and we're walking down the stairs and the wind is just howling. We're seeing roofs that are flying off and trying to just get the car and people are just kind of standing around in my condo complex, neighbors looking, what do we do? And we heard it was a complete gridlock and we weren't going to be able to get out. But we knew we had to try. And at that point we started calling friends to see if they knew where the fire was because it was turning black so quickly we didn't know which way the fire was. So we actually ended up driving in a block circle, not knowing the right way to go, and then realizing, well, we're driving directly into the fire, we need to change our route. And I was hyperventilating. My partner's a mental health therapist and she was telling me it would be okay. And we're calling our parents saying we're going to try to stay by the ocean in case the power lines fall on the car and catch fire. And it was just a scene out of a movie that we lived. It's
you took some video when you were in the car. I'm just going to play a little bit of that you had shared with us, Rachel.
Because it can kind of seem like, how can you get trapped, right? How is that even freaking possible? How is that possible that you could just get trapped, right? You can see the flames, you can see the smoke, but by the time you're actually leaving and the smoke is everywhere, you're completely disoriented. And, they found themselves literally driving towards the fire. They were so disoriented. And, as the smoke and the heat starts coming, the pressure starts mounting, right? We got to make a definitive decision. So I could totally see myself in that situation saying, yeah, look, we just got to go to the beach. We know the flames aren't going to get us in the ocean.
For everyone. Okay. And Rachel, I just, you talk about how terrified you were, and I know that's what you were going through.
All these homes were gone, I think.
I know you mentioned that gridlock. There were some people who may have died in their cars because the fire consumed them.
We saw this a couple of years ago in California, I believe. I think it was called Paradise, where it was completely destroyed, wiped out by one of these, wildfires that came through, was catalyzed by the wind, and just wiped out the entire town. That was the event. You remember when the skies turned orange all across California and some other places? If you lived in California, you'll remember that day when the sky was orange. At like 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, should be brilliant and sunny. It was like a movie. It was orange in the sky and dark. I remember just being outside for several hours. I shouldn't have, because it probably damaged my lung, but I had to watch it. I took several videos and pictures. It was unbelievable.
And you actually experienced the visceral fear of the fact that could have happened to you.
Yes, Aaron. Yes.
Yeah, we heard 30 minutes later that there were people jumping into the ocean, swimming to boats to try to escape the fire. There were people on the ground crying, unsure where to go or not able to breathe because of the smoke. And we were minutes away from that potentially being us. And it's just, unbelievable to know that so many people have been lost and we don't know where they are.
Trying to get the volume right here, folks. Sorry. They got Erin Burnett jacked all the way up, and her mic is like at a 1. She's at a 10.
Well, I know everyone is waiting and hoping that there are going to be people who show up who are okay, but I know obviously the tragedy is these death numbers have just continued to go higher. It's a terrifying thing that you've had to endure and are living through. Rachel, thank you very much for sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Erin. Thank you so much, Erin.
Sharing it with us.
Thanks so much. All right, just wanted to show some of this raw footage. This is this is what people are talking about. So here's what it looked like when you're jumping in the ocean. This is what it looked like for some of these folks. So it wasn't a beach, like one of the major areas was like this rock wall, right? An area that you wouldn't normally jump into. But yeah, look at this, all the smoke. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're protected from the flames and the heat, but how do you breathe? How do you breathe? Right, you got to swim out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the water's black. Holy cow. Holy cow. I mean, how many people? We got 1, 2, I think there's 3. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got, try to get a better look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out on a piece of wood. And 1, 2, maybe 3 right here. Maybe. Actually, that could just be a rock. It's kind of hard to tell. But definitely 1, and then another person right here. God damn. Desperate. Desperate situation for these poor folks. I hope they made it out. I hope they made it out. Wow. We're not done. I mean, we're not done. These are truly some. This is truly some amazing video.
Fuck, dude. Don't worry, don't worry. How come I got to call you then? No, trust me, there's no reception, bro. It says SOS everywhere. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, God damn it. Let's go.
There's traffic.
Go, bro. Yeah, go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. What the fuck? What is this? Yeah. Let's go. Damn, it's hot. Let's go, Dad.
Yo, and your tires will absolutely melt, and and then you're on your rooms.
Motherfucker. Quick. Fuck.
Wow. I mean, they were legitimately trapped. Legitimately trapped. Go. What are you waiting for? Right? Because I'm sure the car in front was like being cautious because of all the smoke. You don't know where you're driving. You don't want to drive into a fucking tree, do you? Right? So you got to be careful. But the longer they wait, the hotter their tires get, the more smoke gets inside their cab, the hotter it gets inside their cab. And where are you running, by the way? What happens when your vehicle no longer is mobile? Right? And you're right next to something like this. Where are you running? You're not running anywhere, dude. You're freaking screwed. You're actually screwed. Yeah, Deja Vu Paradise. Exactly, Cicero. I mean, if I covered it, I remember covering that footage exactly like this coming out of there. People completely caught off guard and stuck in the middle of an inferno, find themselves, an hour before this was happening. Sunny, windy. It was windy, right? Maybe not sunny, but it was windy. And now it's an inferno. It happens much quicker than you think, right? You think, oh, I'd get out of there, right? I would do this, I would do that. But no, it's actually quite easy to get caught up in this, and I don't blame these poor people one bit. Combine that with the fact that this has never happened before. Maybe it has technically happened before. It probably has. But for a lot of these people in their entire lifetimes, they've never seen anything like this. Wow. I'd be on a boat too. So yeah, this smoke is going in the opposite direction of my mom. I was asking her, like, you know, how was the smoke situation? She was like, thankfully the wind was blowing in the other direction, and we, you know, the other side of the island wasn't, you know, choked up with all this smoke. Jesus. We're not done yet, folks. Lots of clips coming out of Hawaii right now. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, here's an aerial shot of the aftermath. Now this is shocking. It just ripped across the entire shoreline there. There we go. The resolution of the video just got a little bit better. Wow, what happened here? Lucky. I wonder if this building is made of like modern materials that don't catch fire. Conspiracy theorists are running around and trying to point out that some of the trees and vegetation aren't burnt. Like, I don't know what they're trying to prove. You know, they're just being themselves, I guess. Trying to prove that. Apparently, some of the vegetation was too wet or has natural protection to combusting. So they were, you know, they were singed and burnt, but they didn't catch fire like everything else did. Wow. Wow. Gone. Gone, man. Well, inner areas did. Oh, okay. It was just the spray from the ocean, maybe protected. Some of them. I mean, because we see some of these. Yeah, interesting. Look at this, kind of half burnt. Right. This one got the whole thing, but this one got spared a little bit. So maybe it was some of that ocean spray coming in there. This building looks like it's probably needs to be completely dismantled, but it looks like it's still standing. 6% of the island burned. Really? iPlatinum. Wow. Gone, gone, gone. This lucky. You know, these guys got a little lucky over here. I wonder why these guys got a little lucky. Maybe the wind was blowing the water in just right. Wow. I mean, even if the structure is still standing, a lot of these buildings are going to have to be demolished and rebuilt anyway, for various reasons. This guy's just doing donuts over here. Damn, no way! It's not over! No way! It just keeps going! It just ripped across here like a demon, burning everything to the very edge. That wind just pushing it through. So imagine you're over here. You know, imagine you're over here, right? You're at this resort or something. You got to drive your car. You know, who knows, blockages, fires, smoke. You got to drive your car all the way over here, or you got, I guess a lot of people maybe went in this direction towards the mountain. But look how far you had to go to escape this. Wow. Absolutely shocking. Shocking stuff. Glad my mom was okay. So yeah, this is the video. This is the video people on Twitter are making fun of. A guy going by the name of The Punisher. Oh, The Punisher. Everything is burnt but the trees. But don't point that out or you're a conspiracy theorist. Buddy, you're not the victim. Stop. The context is funny. The context, thank you, Cicero. The context here is really funny. Some plants are able to survive wildfires due to a layer of thermal insulation provided by their bark, dead leaves, or moist tissues. And then it's a link to the Encyclopedia Britannica. Woke liberal information source. As we all know, the Encyclopedia Britannica, well-known liberal bias over there at Britannica. I'm surprised they're still around. Do they even sell the books anymore? They don't even sell the books anymore, do they? They just probably sell you an iPhone app. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I know, iPlatinum. Isn't that strange? But anyway, yeah. So they're posting this video, and conspiracy theorists are all like, "Oh, look, we got proof. Oh, we got proof. Vaccines. Somehow this had something to do with the COVID vaccines. I'm sure. Yeah, this is what happens when you give trees COVID vaccines that become fire retardant. Yeah. Yeah, no wilt at all. they looking a little droopy. Yeah, well, you know, this probably had something to do with Kennedy too. I bet you. Kennedy was supposed to come back to life, so I bet you he injected the COVID vaccine into these trees. Yeah. You know, no one really thinks of these things. You know what I mean? But it's all connected. Just amazing devastation. I can't even believe this. Gone, dude. I mean, gone. I mean, just unbelievable. It completely devastated. You know, this not even close, and it happened so fast. Happened so fast. Mom, you're gonna love this one. Oprah Winfrey over here. Oprah Winfrey pretending like she gives a crap about poor people. Look, if you live in Hawaii, you know the name Oprah Winfrey because she's the bane of your existence. This woman goes around Hawaii buying up everything and locking it down so no one gets to go to the beach or no one gets to go to there, or you gotta walk all in some crazy trail because, you know, the easy trail has been bought by Oprah Winfrey. So here's Oprah Winfrey, oligarch of Hawaii. Oh, little Mercy. Oh, here's a little pillow for you, poor guy.
Oprah Winfrey has been spotted helping people displaced by the Maui fires.
Oh. Oprah, thank you so much, Oprah. Thank you so much, Oprah. How about you open up those passageways that you blocked so people can get to the beach easier? Sorry. That'd be against my property rights. So yeah, I just find it incredibly ironic. Run around giving people pillows like she's Saint Oprah of Hawaii. What a joke. It's actually a joke, dude. People, if you're a local in Hawaii, you know Oprah Winfrey and you're not happy with her. So this is really quite funny.
Maui for years. According to a local non-profit, Oprah purchased cots, pillows, and toiletries for the people at a shelter in Wailuku.
Okay, thanks, Oprah. Hope your vacation wasn't ruined. She probably just went to a different island.
In a statement to CNN, Oprah's spokesperson said the star had visited several shelters on the island and plans to give more support.
Okay. I mean, I'm not, you know, it's great. You know, awesome. Thanks, Oprah. Okay. But can we talk about the grievances? I mean, people, like, there's ongoing court cases and, like, people are going to public meetings begging Oprah, right, to remove some of the restrictions on some of her property. So some people, you know, because it's not like people want to hang out in Oprah's backyard, right? But there are like trails and things that go back to beaches that she's blocked off. And it's like, can you just let us walk through your precious territory so we can get to the beach? Yeah, it's funny. My mom's gonna laugh at this. You're gonna. I'm sure you find this very funny, Mom. You have to, because she's talked a lot of shit on Oprah Winfrey, and rightfully so. It's like Oprah Winfrey. So unfortunately, this is from August 11th. The death toll has risen to 67. I think the last number I heard was closer to 100, and we have over 1,000 people still considered missing. So unfortunately, it's very likely that this death toll is going to climb. mean, people have lived in some of these homes for their whole life, decades. And I know it is a well-off area. It's an area that has a lot of money. That doesn't mean they deserve this. And some people are not well off. There's a lot of rural. Hawaii is a very rural area. It's not like Miami, It's a very kind of chill area, but there is a lot of money. And look at this total traffic jam, dude. Look at that. All of these people were trapped. That's good news, Cicero. World Central Kitchen. All of these people were trapped. Like a zombie apocalypse. Wow. God damn. A lot of these people probably these are probably a lot of the people that got out into the ocean right here. That's what I would do. Abandon the car and get in the ocean. Wow. So back to the causes and the why. I thought I would show one more video that just kind of digs into the why, and maybe what we could do in the future to prevent something like this. You can't pretend the ocean was safe with hurricane winds. I mean, it's safer, safer than standing on the road. But yeah, definitely not a viable solution for moving forward. Oh, just jump in the ocean. What are you talking about? But yeah, records show Hawaii underestimated the deadly threats of wildfire. So, I mean, that's what we're going to see. The problem is, are we really going to see actual change? That's the problem with politics in the United States, right? Glaring, obvious problem right in front of us. Glaring, obvious solution right in front of us. Politician, I've been given money to ignore these things. I've been given a lot of money to ignore the problem and ignore the solution. So let's go ahead and talk about something else completely. So, will we see real reform that would actually prevent this from happening in the future? That's the question. Yeah, woke patriot. Absolutely. Very appropriate reference there for the, the hit movie Oppenheimer out now. I mean, Japanese buildings.
DQ cheeseburger lovers.
DQ cheeseburgers. They're not good. They're okay. They're barely okay. 2 for $6. That ain't bad. 2 for $9. That ain't what? They're not that good. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the buildings in Japan are, they were especially susceptible to that kind of thing because they were mostly made out of wood. All right, let's get to it. Damn.
CNN is learning Hawaii officials underestimated the risk of wildfires in a recent report, even as other documents show officials knew they lacked resources to prevent and fight fires.
We had advance notice coming into the summer. This week, the winds, the low humidity, and the fuels, any ignition would have sparked a pretty big fire, and that's exactly what we saw.
In a state report out just last year ranking natural disasters, Hawaii officials classified the wildfire risk to human life as low in this color-coded chart.
People need to lose their job because of this. And this is a major problem with neoliberals. They don't hold themselves accountable when shit like this happens. I don't think it's a bunch of right-wingers running Hawaii. I think it's neoliberals. Will the neoliberals hold each other accountable for the people who said these things and made these decisions? Nope. Skate. Skeet. That's the problem. They don't hold each other accountable. This should get people fired. Your political career should be over with after something like this happens. You make a statement, yep, nope, low chance, we're good. We're focusing on floods and earthquakes. And then your entire district is burnt to a crisp. You're not going to see any political ramifications for that. You better.
The assessment, though, coming years after Hurricane Lane fanned the flames of fires in Hawaii, ravaging Maui and Oahu in 2018.
So they
that
had
perfect
warning.
Storm of conditions highlighted the threat and how unprepared officials in Hawaii were dealing with such a disaster, with a county report in 2021 noting Hurricane Lane made small fires swell and stretch public safety resources with
So they
strong
knew.
winds grounding air support. That
knew.
storm should have been a wake-up call, according to this planning document from Hawaii's Emergency Management Agency. Other state and local documents show Hawaii lagged behind in preparedness for the devastating wildfires playing out now that have killed more than 50 people, left countless people missing, and triggered widespread evacuations. A cruel deja vu for some residents.
About 4 years ago, we had another hurricane.
This guy is so
and we
Hawaiian.
lost our house in the fire. Rebuilt, and what happened yesterday is killing me right now. We just lost our house again, twice in 4 years.
A 2021 report also makes the troubling point that despite the increasing number
And you know what we're seeing in Florida and I think in Texas as well, but we're seeing insurance companies basically saying, yeah, no, because of the reality of climate change, we're just straight up not going to insure you, you know, for less than an extreme amount of money. There's some insurance policies in Florida, you know, for flooding and hurricane insurance that is, you know, more expensive. You know, it's like $80,000 a year, $90,000 a year, insane payments for insurance. And that's the only way that they're going to cover it. So don't be surprised if you see insurance companies abandoning Hawaii because of this reality.
of wildfires, fire prevention was given, quote, short shrift in a strategic plan from Maui County's Department of Fire and Safety. The plan also included, quote, nothing about what can and should be done to prevent fires, which it called a significant oversight.
Given how catastrophic this event was, I think there will be a lot of pressure on the state and other organizations to improve their fire prevention actions that they're taking statewide.
The increase in fires in Hawaii comes as Maui has faced increasing drought conditions in recent years, contributing to warnings like this in a May webinar from Nani Barreto with the Hawaii Wildfire Management Organization.
Hawaii has a big wildfire problem. We are on par with the most fire-prone states in the Western continental U.S. The impacts of fire are broad and long-lasting.
Now residents like Mart Steffel are left to rebuild again as the threat of future disasters looms with no clear plan in place.
I mean, I know what I need to do. We've done it before. It sucks.
It absolutely does suck. No doubt about it. And the last little bit of news here, I believe was this one from you, Woke Patriot? Might have been. But I figured it was appropriate since we're talking about climate change with Hawaii here. But global heating likely to hit world food supply before 1.5 centigrade, says UN expert. It sucks, but is anyone to blame? Yes, humanity is to blame. The Industrial Revolution is to blame. And obviously there's nothing we can't go back in the past and change it. All we can do is change what we do moving forward. You know, the technology we implement and the pollution that we prevent from getting into the environment in the first place. The world is likely to face major disruption to food supplies well before temperatures rise by the 1.5 centigrade target, the president of the UN's desertification conference has warned. As the impacts of the climate crisis combined with water scarcity and poor farming practices to threaten global agriculture, Alan Richard Donwahi, a former Ivory Coast defense minister who led last year's UN COP15 summit on desertification. By the way, the COP summits are routinely criticized because they basically they do more for greenwashing politicians than they actually achieve in making real change. It's the COP summits have kind of turned into like a PR thing for politicians that want to pretend like they're actually doing something. And Greta Thunberg has come out and accurately criticized the COP summits. Said the efforts of drought were taking hold more rapidly than expected. I mean, with that said, there's still a lot of experts and things, people that go there and whatnot. But double-edged sword here. We need more than summits, right? We need real action. Quote, climate change is a pandemic that we need to fight quickly, see how fast the degradation of the climate is going. I think it's going even faster than we predicted, he said. Quote, everyone is fixated on 1.5 centigrade above pre-industrial levels, and it is a very important target, but actually some very bad things could happen in terms of soil degradation, water scarcity, and desertification way before 1.5 centigrade. And desertification, you know, that's just places drying out, which is what we saw in Hawaii. The problems of rising temperatures, heat waves, and more intense droughts and floods were endangering food security in many regions. Don Wahi said, look at the effects of droughts on food security, the effects of droughts on migration and population, the effects of droughts on inflation. We could have an acceleration of negative effects other than temperature, he said. Don't have time to read the whole article. I'm sorry. Got to keep it moving. But just wanted to back up what I'm saying. It's getting worse. It's actually, even before we hit this 1.5, we're going to be seeing more and more stuff like what we saw in Hawaii. Climate change is real. You know, we still got to have that conversation, don't we? We still got to have a conversation about climate change being real, because that's a conversation that benefits the rich, isn't it? We're still having a debate whether it's real or not. That benefits the oligarchy. That benefits the empire. Those discussions. Because what we need to do, we should be well beyond acknowledging the reality of the situation. We should be having a debate about, okay, how much money are we going to spend, and what technologies are we going to implement? What changes are we going to, you know, make to society? What new rules and regulations are we going to put on corporations, especially the top 100 corporations that are polluting? It goes on and on and on and on and on. Folks, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The number one thing preventing progress on climate change is not science, and is not people who, you know, like the desire to make our world better. We are in abundance of these things. The problem, as for a lot of things, is strictly politics. Politics is the only thing holding back what could be very positive changes that could have, you know, we could see reflected in climate very quickly. And I'm not talking about straws, and I'm not talking about, you know, light bulbs, though that is part of the solution. It's a small part, but it is an essential part. Okay? I'm talking about, we need to go after the polluters. We need to, you know, there are real solutions to this. And what is holding back these solutions strictly is politics. Quite simple. Politics. Politician helping a buddy out, you know. They get donations from an energy conglomerate, oil, nuclear, whatever it is. A lot of energy companies are just, you know, adversarial to climate change, to climate change activists. Well, I mean, here's the thing. So Cicero over here is criticizing carbon taxes. It's going to cost a lot of money to fix this, Cicero. We're not going to be able to fix this. The private market is not going to be able to fix this with a profit motive. Some things we'll be able to make some money off of, right? Solar technology, people buying solar panels to put on their roofs. There's a lot of money there. Is there a lot of money in pulling garbage out of the ocean? Not really. Yeah, maybe you'll recycle some of the plastic, turn it into some bracelets or something, but it's going to cost money, and there's no profit motive to pulling garbage out of the ocean. You know? So we do need carbon tax. We need a green tax of some sort. We need to pay for this. But what we don't have with carbon taxes right now needs to change, which is transparency. Okay, you're taking my money. Welcome back, got an Aranja. But you know, you're taking my money. You're taking my money right out of my paycheck. You're taxing me. You're making me use fucking paper straws. I hate them, right? I don't mind paper straws anymore. People bitching about paper straws. Whatever, though, right? Just for this example, we hate paper straws, right? All these things. I'm just trying to say is that, you know, this will absolutely cost money. Okay, the point I was trying to get at was transparency. You know, you're taking all my money. You're taking this money directly from my paycheck. Where is it going? How is this helping, you know, climate? Or, you know, and then you find out, oh, this money has been reappropriated for this or that. Oh yeah, we set aside $1 billion for climate change prevention, but we spent half of it on a stadium. You know, like that's the problem with carbon taxes, is that they're collecting all this money. Where is it going? Where's the transparency? and are the things that you're spending my money on actually helping? Right? Or did you just give, $1 million to a plastics recycling company, even though recycling plastic is not environmentally friendly? Right? And recycling plastic is not going to help the environment. It's going to make the environment worse, actually. How come instead of, we need to take that money and go and and fund a subsidy so that we're using bioplastics instead of plastics derived from oil? All right, polyethylene plastics and things like that. Right? So I think that's what we need is, if we're going to continue to do carbon taxes, we need transparency, because we need to know where the money is being spent and how the money is being spent. Because like I said, there's a lot of grift, there's a lot of corruption. That's a real problem. So I'm not exactly against carbon taxes, but if we're going to continue to do carbon taxes like we're doing it now, then yeah, of course I'm against it. It's just a bunch of money getting collected, and then politicians get to, pull money out of it anytime they want for whatever little pet project they want. That's not going to fix the fucking climate right there. That ain't going to do it. Sorry, Mom. Didn't mean to swear. All right, Mom. Hope you enjoyed it. This is my show, The News Underground. Been doing it for a while. I'm wildly successful, by the way. I'm like millions of viewers. It's unbelievable how successful and popular I am. You would be very proud of me. You would absolutely not call this an unbelievable waste of time. No way. Love you so much. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe out there. I'll give you a call soon. I love you, Mama. All right. We'll talk to you soon.